Hey friend, welcome to the BotBuhdy AI report. Today we've got a packed show for you. IBM loses $69 billion in one day. Is the AI bubble bursting? Apple versus OpenAI goes nuclear. The White House is now pre-screening Claude and GPT before they launch. Anthropic's Fable 5 free access expires tonight. And finally, OpenAI's first hardware device is a screenless AI speaker that can move. Let's get into it.
IBM just suffered the worst single-day stock crash in its 115-year history. 25% gone, $69 billion erased in one trading session. And the reason? Artificial intelligence is eating IBM's lunch. Fast. IBM's bread and butter has always been IT consulting. Companies pay IBM billions to manage software, run infrastructure, and advise on technology decisions. But now those same companies are replacing IBM's consultants with AI tools that cost a fraction of the price. IBM's Q2 revenue missed Wall Street's expectations so badly that investors didn't just sell, they ran. Analysts are now warning of what they're calling a dual bubble. One side of the market spending hundreds of billions building AI, and the other side collapsing because AI is destroying their core business. The S&P Software Industry Index is down nearly 15% so far in 2026. Workday, ServiceNow, Salesforce, all dragged down with IBM. This is not a blip. This is the structural disruption everyone said was coming. IBM just made it real.
Wait, what? I had to read this one twice. This changes things.
The Apple versus OpenAI legal war just got a lot wilder. Apple's lawsuit, filed in early July, alleges that OpenAI didn't just hire away Apple engineers. It actively used Apple's own internal documents to do it. Specifically, Apple claims that OpenAI circulated an internal Apple document marked with a need-to-know designation, containing detailed instructions on how new hires could avoid Apple's dreaded walkout procedure. The process where a departing employee is immediately escorted off campus and locked out of all systems. Apple says OpenAI shared this playbook with former Apple engineers as they were being recruited, essentially coaching them on how to get out the door with sensitive knowledge intact. Now Apple has escalated again. The company is reportedly sending legal warnings to those same ex-employees, telling them not to delete any data, a standard litigation hold notice that signals Apple is going to dig through everything. OpenAI denies wrongdoing and says any documents shared were already public. But the idea that a trillion-dollar company had its internal escape route manual stolen and used against it by a competitor, that is a story that will define Silicon Valley talent wars for years.
Now this one is a little concerning. This is something we should all be paying attention to.
Here is something most people do not know is happening right now. Before Anthropic can release a new version of Claude to the public, the White House gets to look at it first. Same goes for OpenAI's GPT. Under an executive order President Trump signed in June, any AI model the government designates as a covered frontier model must be shared with federal agencies for up to 30 days before launch. The stated purpose is national security evaluation. The government wants to test whether these models could be weaponized, used for cyber attacks, or exploited by adversaries. The labs are officially calling it voluntary, but consider the context. If Anthropic refuses to let the government preview Claude, and then Claude ends up involved in some kind of security incident, the regulatory consequences would be severe. That is not really voluntary. That is a compliance trap with nice language around it. Critics from the Cato Institute are already arguing this is worse than the FDA for AI model that Silicon Valley fought so hard to prevent. Because at least with a formal regulator, there are rules. Right now, it is just the White House making calls, and no one outside the room knows exactly what they're asking for.
Okay, this next one. I am genuinely excited about this. You are going to love it.
Tonight is the night. At 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time, Anthropic's extended free access to Fable 5, the most powerful model they have ever released, officially expires. This is the fourth deadline in 5 weeks. Anthropic has blinked 3 times already, extending the window each time just hours before it closed. So what changes tonight? Well, something interesting happened a few days ago. Developers using Cursor, the popular AI coding tool, spotted an unreleased model briefly showing up in Cursor's model selector. labeled Honeycomb EAP. That is an early access program designation. And Honeycomb? That matches the naming pattern that would follow Fable. The AI community is now treating this as a confirmed Opus 5 pre-release leak. Community sentiment right now has about 40% of people believing Opus 5 ships this weekend, 35% betting on yet another extension, and 25% expecting that free Fable 5 access just quietly ends and users get credits instead. Anthropic has not said a word. No blog post, no tweet, nothing, which tells you everything. Either they are managing a massive release very carefully, or something is not ready and they are stalling again. Either way, the next 24 hours in AI could be very interesting.
Wow. Okay, so that just happened. This next one really blew my mind.
Sam Altman is building a device to compete with Apple, while simultaneously fighting Apple in court. Bloomberg confirmed this week that OpenAI's first ever consumer hardware product is a portable, screenless smart speaker. Not a phone, not a laptop, not a pair of glasses. A speaker that can move. The device is designed to sync with ChatGPT and offer personalized AI services throughout your home. But OpenAI is positioning it as something fundamentally different from Amazon's Echo or Apple's HomePod. The pitch is that this is not a voice assistant, it is an AI companion, a new type of home computer, one that knows your habits, your preferences, your context, and proactively helps you throughout the day without you needing to pick up a phone. Now here is the part that makes this story truly wild. OpenAI is in federal court right now accusing former Apple engineers of stealing Apple trade secrets to help build this hardware division. Apple is fighting back, and yet OpenAI's AI is still integrated into Apple's iOS through Siri. These companies are partners, competitors, and courtroom adversaries at the same time. Welcome to the AI era, where the rules have not caught up to reality yet.
That's all for today, friend. If you found this helpful, smash that like button and hit subscribe. I will see you tomorrow with more AI news. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, leverage your intelligence.